everyone. Welcome to my show. Autumn is here. I am your host, Francine Crawford. And today we're going to talk to you about guilt. Sometimes being a caregiver is so overwhelming and stressful that you feel guilty. And we don't talk about this because there's kind of a shame in feeling guilty. There's kind of I shouldn't feel that way, but I do. And no one really admits it. You know, sometimes when you feel guilty, it is is you thinking over and over critical thoughts about what you've done, about how you handled the situation, about how you spoke to the person, whatever it is. You have these critical thoughts about, did I do it the right way or I didn't do it the right way? And these things can lead to anger, impatience, frustration, and you don't want it to do that. Then you get to self-blame, and then it can affect you emotionally and affects you physically. So we just wanted to talk to a little bit, some things that you may not realize that may come out that is triggers or signs of guilt. Like when you do get angry fast. And it doesn't mean that you get angry at your person. You may get angry at the person that you're taking care of, but you can get angry at the doctor or angry at, your son or daughter that came in, or you're angry because the phone rang. Things just set you off. You feel like you're not enough. You're not adequate enough. What you're doing is not enough, that you want to do more, and you feel like you can't, but you want to do more. These are signs that maybe you're feeling a little guilty, that you're obsessing over things, obsessing over decisions that you made. You're going back and forth on making decisions, because if you're a caregiver, there's going to be some hard decisions that you have to make. And it's very stressful. So you can feel guilty over making one decision over another decision. You can feel that pressure and that stress. Being overwhelmed about understanding their illness, understanding their medications. That's a lot also. Understanding whether they should do this, take this medication or that. The doctor's going to ask you, and if you're the advocate for the person, you have to make the decision. And it's a lot of information, and sometimes it's too much to really understand. And sometimes that person needs the treatment right away. So you're going to be forced with making a decision, and time is not going to be on your hands. So sometimes you're going to go over it and over it again in your head, and it'll make you feel guilty. And there's just so many different things that will be signs of feeling like you haven't done enough, and eventually you might start neglecting yourself. You might start not taking a break. You feel like you don't deserve a break. You feel like you can't take a break. It's impossible for you to take a break. You feel like there's no one else that can do this job but you. You overwhelm yourself, and sometimes we do that. And we have to realize that we're only one person. It is normal to feel guilty. It is. It is normal. And other people feel it too. People don't say it, but other people feel it too. It is normal to feel overwhelmed. It is normal to feel angry. It is normal to cry. It's really about normalizing the way you feel in the moment. There are certain things that can help with that to manage your guilt. First, recognize that it is guilt and anger and frustration, and that's normal. And you're not the only one. There's other people that feel the same way. If you understand that in your situation, you have limitations. You cannot do everything. You cannot do everything right away. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge that you may not have all the resources at your fingertips. You may have to do something else. Acknowledge that. It's okay. You're not superhuman. Okay, so you can't just do everything. And other people are in the same place also. So please remember that you can't just try to do everything at once, try to do everything, and knowing that you can't do it, still push yourself to do it. You're going to have to be able to understand that, recognize that, and pull back a little bit. You also have to take a break. You're going to have to think about yourself, things that you need at that moment, and eliminate some of the things that you're doing too much for. Sometimes we help and we overreach. Sometimes you don't have to do that. Know that you are doing the best that you can, and treat yourself with kindness. Appreciate that you're there helping someone, and that shows that you care. That shows that you want them to be well and you want to do better. They are not able to do for themselves, and they need you, and you've stepped in. So don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself like you would treat somebody else. If you saw them going through and struggling, you would be kind to them. So make sure that you give yourself some time and recharge. You can just take a nap. There are things that you should do so you won't be overwhelmed with guilt. You won't let it build and manifest into something, because what happens is it'll break you down emotionally and it'll physically affect you. I know people who are caregivers who got sick because they were caregiving. They neglected themselves. They stressed out. They got sicknesses that they didn't have before. They said it's 65% of people who get sick while they're being a caregiver for someone. So you have to be aware of that for yourself. Care for the person and you love the person, but you also love yourself. And remember, if you're no good, then they're not going to be any good. And if you can't take care of them, then who else is going to take care of them? If there's not other people lined up, you have to really take care of yourself and make sure that you're in a position that you can be better for yourself, that to be better for them. Tell your friends, your family, your community, whoever it is that's close to you, tell them what you're going through and be honest. Tell them what you're going through, what you need, what your limitations are. Everybody has limitations. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that you need some help. And if you ask for it, somebody might be there to give it to you. So make sure you share it with someone. Make sure you don't put unrealistic expectations on yourself. It's easy to have a desire in your heart to do something, but sometimes to actually go through with it is tough. You don't have the means. You have the heart to do it, but you don't have the means, or you don't know how to do it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to call a support group. There are so many different support groups that are out there. Alzheimer's Associations, AARP, Family Care Alliance, Caring Kind, and there's some local churches and organizations, Department of Aging, anything that has to do with aging. There are people out there that can help you. Do not be afraid to call a support group. And my biggest thing is focus on now. Focus on the present. Focus on what you can do now. Focus on your loved one that's there with you now. Focus on their needs that are right now. Because even as you become a caregiver, no matter how much you do, no matter how you get things organized and you may have it together, their health changes, their situation may change, financial situation may change, and then you have to do something else. So don't worry about it. Prepare as much as you can, but try to be present in the now for them and for you. So this way you can enjoy some moments with them. You can appreciate them and appreciate you for being here, knowing that it's a blessing that you're there and they have someone to care for them and you're blessing someone else. So try not to be so hard on yourself. It is a tough job to do. Guilt is part of it, but let's rearrange that. Let's reimagine what guilt is. Let's make sure that it's not something that's going to take us down, that we think is something to be ashamed of. It's something that's not normal. It's something that, if people knew, they would be upset with you. No, it's something that's normal when you're faced with something so strong and so heavy with caregiving, the stress, the support that you have to give. Remember, you're giving. If you're caregiving, you're giving. That means you're giving. There's a time when you have to be poured into. There's a time when you have to recharge, when you have to rejuvenate. You have to, because you're giving so much. And if you're giving so much out, you may not have anything else to give. So you have to restore and rejuvenate and just pour back into yourself. And however that looks for you, you have to do that, whether it's outside people, whether it's outside support, whether it's you taking a break or a rest or calling a respite and saying, I need a break. If you find yourself getting frustrated, don't beat yourself up. Recognize it and say, okay, this is the time I need a break. This is the time I need help. This is the time I got to call my sister, my brother, my friend, my whoever to help me with this. I can't do it right now. Not that you can't do it anymore. It's that you can't do it right now. And it's okay. We want people to be aware that these feelings, other people are having them, you're not alone, and that they're normal. Just recognize them. And when you recognize them, then you know that you have to handle them in some way you have to manage them. And manage them in ways that will help you to get back to yourself, to be the best caregiver that you can be, to be healthy, emotionally and physically. And if you take time and if you recognize it and if you can pull back and you can take a break, take a breath, or you realize that, you know what, this is part of it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be frustrating. I'm gonna have to make some tough decisions. If you recognize that, then do it and just know that whatever you did at the time that you did it, you did the best that you could at that time. You may not have the resources, you may not have the information, but you did the best that you could with what you had. Remember that. There is no situation that's just one way. There's no one-way rule in caregiving because every situation is different. So don't ever compare yourself to people. Other people's situations is different. Sometimes you don't even know. You know what you're outside looking into, but you don't know what's really happening in the person's life, that how they took care of the person. And outside it may seem like they did a wonderful job and they're always happy and they're getting along with their dad, their mom, whoever they're taking care of, and everything seems okay, but you don't know what happens, at night when the person is up all night and the other person can't get any sleep, or when the person that they're caring for in their house is frustrated, agitated and making noise and yelling and screaming and won't sit still and things like that. You don't know what's really happening. So don't compare yourself to other people, because you may see them on the outside, but you don't know what's happening in their home. So when you're going through, I don't want you to feel like, okay, I'm not doing my best because so-and-so, every time I see them, they're together and we're not together. Don't compare yourself. Never compare yourself. Every situation is different. Every person handles everything different. Every person has different resources. Some people have a big family and everybody pitches in. Some people have nobody. And if you're one of them that have nobody, then it's going to be harder for you to go out and get support from an agency or any kind of caregiving network or something like that, and they will give you some support. If you are the person and you are the caregiver and you are the person that's been selected for this, whatever you do, whatever decision that you make that betters that person's life, that cares for them, that protects them, you are enough. Whatever you have at the moment and you're using, you are enough. Remember that. You are the person that's responsible, and whatever decision, and you can change your mind, you can change your decision. So make sure that you know that you are enough and you've done your best, and don't beat yourself up. Other people are in the same space, and let people know, because so many times people go through caregiving and no one even knows that they're going through it. So please speak up and love yourself a little more. Be kind, and stay in the moment. Stay present. Thank you. That's my show for today. I appreciate you listening. Have a good day. Autumn is here.